every day and every way I'm getting better and better.
My name is Wendy Tibbs. My daughter is Kylie. She's 13 years old. She started having tics when she was about 5. They started with just simple eye rolls. She started having some shoulder shrugs. We didn't really think anything of it at first. We just thought it was just a typical 5-year-old behavior. As it got worse, she started having some vocal tics, some ticking type things. We could not get rid of it. We tried antibiotics. We thought maybe it was a result of strep throat, so we tried all kinds of things until we finally got to see a neurologist. And the neurologist told us she had Tourette syndrome at 6 years old. From that neurologist, she was put on medications, lots of medications. Before she was put on this medication, she was a very happy-go-lucky little girl. She was happy, she was joyful, she was active, she just was just this wonderful, sweet little girl. Medications totally changed her personality. By 7 years old, I took her off of all medication because I just did not like the way it changed her. Anything anyone said to try, I tried it because my child was miserable. She was just ticking a lot. She was hurting. She had this tummy tic that she would just go to bed at night. Her stomach hurt really bad. Her legs would tick, her arms would tick. She had tics where she was hitting herself. She was getting made fun of. She was getting laughed at. I was doing anything and everything to get this kid without tics. And I was really considering putting her back on medication because she was so miserable. But the medication just wasn't working. Until one day, my family went to see another chiropractor. And we were at this new location, and my daughter was sitting there with us, and Dr. Murphy walked up to me and he said, "I noticed your daughter is ticking." And I was used to hearing things like that because people would say things like, "She's bothering me, she's being too loud, she's making noises, she's hitting things and she's being loud. Can you make her stop?" Well, I can't make her stop. She has Tourette syndrome. So that was always my response. "I'm sorry, she has Tourette syndrome." And he said, "Oh, no. I actually do things to help children with Tourette's. Do you mind if I help her?" And by this point, I pretty much given up on anything helping her. And I was like, "Sure, go ahead. Whatever you think you can do, by all means, try it." And honestly, I didn't have high hopes. At least I thought I had tried everything that there was out there. And my daughter was having multiple horrible tics to the point where she could not function. She couldn't function in school. She couldn't function outside of school. She loved gymnastics, and she could not go to gymnastics. She had to sit out. Her coaches were like, "We can't put her on the beam because we're afraid she's going to hurt herself." And she just felt dejected and alone, and she was pretty much giving up. And so he introduced himself to us, and he told us all about his research and what he was doing with Tourette syndrome, and it sounded interesting. But honestly, again, didn't really have high hopes. And so he did his thing, and we went home that night. I noticed that she could sit and she wasn't ticking. And I'm looking at her going, well, this is weird, because I hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen her sit for more than 5 minutes without ticking. And I'm going, okay, something's interesting here. Okay, maybe this doctor knows something that I don't know. And so he had actually wanted to see her again that week, and I'm thinking, yeah, absolutely, you can see her again. And we'd seen him like 2 days later, and he did the same thing again, and that night was even better. And by the following day, she pretty much had no tics. She went like literally a day with very, very few tics. I was blown away, absolutely blown away. From that point on, we were sold. Anybody who would listen to me, I told them all about it. I was on Facebook groups for kids with Tourette's, and I was just telling everybody who would listen, you need to find yourself a Dr. Murphy because this guy knows what he's doing. And Kylie, she still had struggles with anxiety. I chalk it up to the medication she took at the very beginning because she was not a very anxious child to begin with. But I do know that anxiety is an underlying condition of Tourette's. And whatever Dr. Murphy is doing has been really helping her with her anxiety issues. Her anxiety levels have gone way down. She used to be a very quiet child. She would not talk to people. I mean, if somebody would ask her a question, she wouldn't even answer questions. I don't think she was being rude. I just think she was so anxious and had so much anxiety that she just was afraid to answer people. Now you can barely get her to be quiet, which is great. I would rather have that Kylie because that's more my little girl that I remember having before Tourette syndrome. One of the other things that I've noticed with Kylie since she's been seeing Dr. Murphy is she's grown. Before she saw Dr. Murphy, she was very, very tiny for her age. And since seeing Dr. Murphy, she's actually grown. Actually, she might even be tall for her age, which has been amazing. I had no idea that this kind of treatment would even cause the child to grow, but it's been amazing that she's even growing through all of this. I've been more than happy with all of these treatments that Kylie's getting, and I would 100% recommend this to anybody, any parent who's struggling with their child with Tourette syndrome. If you've tried it all and you think there's nothing out there, trust me, this is what'll work. This is what's worked for us, and I'm telling you what, by the time I met Dr. Murphy, I really thought that nothing else would work. I was really skeptical, but I'm telling you what, this is it. This is what works.
I'm here with Kylie Tibbs today, and she's been coming here as a patient for 10 months now. Kylie, first of all, you won the Texas State Tumbling Championship 2 weeks ago, is that right?
Yep.
Fantastic. That's unbelievable. Was it exciting?
Yes.
Very exciting? Oh my gosh. So how you been competing? How you been feeling? Pretty good?
Yeah.
You look fantastic.
Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better.